So, welcome back to part two in our strategic planning series here at Tap the Potential on the Profit by Design podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Sabrina Starling, and I'm delighted to be taking you through this experience. So, hopefully, you have listened to part one and downloaded your strategic planning guide and planner. If you haven't done that, pause right here and go grab that because you're going to need that to have the full experience of the strategic planning that I'm taking you through here on the podcast. So you can head on over to tapthepotential.com/plan. That's where you'll get your strategic planning guide with the powerful questions and exercises. And you will get Tap the Potential's very popular, very in demand strategic planner for 2025. The strategic planner is what we use with our clients in our Better Business, Better Life program to help you stay focused on your goals for 2025 and keep taking those small steps forward in a consistent direction that lead to big change in a relatively short period of time. And that's the key. All the great planning that we put in place, if we don't hold our vision, our goals right in front of us and have accountability, we can easily, as business owners, get very far off track. So I really want to encourage you to not just take the time right now and over the coming week or so to think through what is your vision for 2025 and what do you want to experience in your business and in your personal life, but then follow that up with how are you creating accountability for carrying out the actions, especially when it's hard or things come up in the day-to-day that pull us off track. How are you going to be accountable to your vision? Coaching and being a part of a group with other entrepreneurs, progressive, like-minded entrepreneurs who are making big things happen. That's a great way to make sure you accomplish your goals. We at Tap the Potential are known for our accountability and how we help clients achieve their goals. 90% of our clients are achieving our promised result at Tap the Potential because of the accountability we provide. So our promised result is that you will have more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. And that's what our clients in our Better Business, Better Life are doing. So when you download the strategic planning guide and you're getting our Tap the Potential 2025 planner, you are getting some of the tools that we share with our clients in our Better Business, Better Life program. So I want you to understand how powerful what we're sharing with you is. And if you are interested in the support and having the level of support we provide, backing you as you carry out and execute your plans in 2025, by all means, head on over to tapthepotential.com and book a call with us. And let's talk with you about getting you into our Better Business, Better Life program and making big things happen for you in 2025. So as we dive in to your strategic planning for 2025, I want to give you a heads up that it's time to quit playing small and thinking small. When we play small and think small, we get small results. And when we think big and we step into who we have to become as we think big, that's where big things happen in our lives. Dr. Benjamin Hardy wrote the book 10X is Easier Than 2X. You've heard me talk about it here on the podcast, I'm sure. I'm a huge fan of 10X thinking. And we on our team had our annual strategic planning session just recently, and we used 10X thinking. And I want to credit our integrator, Amy Marie, who just threw down the gauntlet essentially with our team and said, when we're 10X, what are we no longer going to be doing? And what habits and what of all the things that we're doing right now, what would we not be doing? And what would be the most essential, the 20% of activities that would be most essential to helping us achieve that 10X level of growth over the coming years? And that was a very powerful mindset shift. And so I want to bring that here and share it with you on the Profit by Design podcast as you go into your own strategic planning. And I also want to share that when you go through a mindset shift, it's not easy to stay in the new mindset. So we had a very powerful strategic planning session. And then the next day, I found myself using some old habits that they're not going to get us to the 10X. And so I had to catch myself and ask myself, okay, if we're going to go to that 10X level with the different outcomes that we're looking to create at Tap the Potential, what would I be doing differently? And so that's what the strategic planning guide invites you to step into, is creating your vision for the year ahead. And I am a firm believer that our business should support our life. So we don't start with business success. We start with life success. So what experiences in your life do you want to have? How do you want to show up in your important relationships? How do you want to convey to those who matter most to you that you are fully present and engaged with them? How are you showing up? What is going on in your personal life? What do you want to experience? How do you want to feel every day as you go to work? And how do you want to feel when you're at home with those you love? That's a great place to start, because then we're going to back up and we're going to look at, well, what needs to be going on in the business for you to have that experience? And because the business needs to support your life. So we start with designing for your life in 2025. On our team, every year we share our personal visions at the beginning of the year. And then each quarter we reflect and we review our personal visions and we look at how are we aligning with experiencing what we want to experience in our personal lives. And this is so important because on page 10 of your strategic planning guide, there's an image of the survival trap. And the survival trap is where we have a vision, but we are confronted with choices every single day. I think the statistic is that the average person makes about 35,000 decisions a day. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure that's exactly right, but it's a lot of decisions the average person makes. Well, guess what? Entrepreneurs make a lot more decisions than the average person. And so we're making decisions, multiple decisions every single day. And if we're not holding a vision in mind when we're making those decisions, some of our decisions will get us towards the vision, but others will take us very far off track. And so you've probably heard the saying that if you don't know where you're going to go when you set out on a journey, you don't know where you're going to go and where you're going to end up. You're going to end up somewhere, but it's not going to be necessarily where you want to be. And the sad reality is that many people live their entire lives that way without any thought of, what am I working towards or what am I moving towards? What do I want to create in my life? Well, I want to invite you to be very intentional to designing the life that you want to create. And I know there are things that will happen along the way that do not go as planned. If you're familiar with my story, you know that some major life events and losses happened for me in 2024. Very painful things. And I also am recognizing that, I didn't have control over all of that. And there's many things in our lives we don't have control over. But I do have control of how I show up every day. I have control over my personal experience as I go through those painful things. I have control of the support I seek out, and I have control of what I choose to do right now in this moment and how I'm going to make this moment better and the next moment better. So when we are intentional, that's where we have our greatest opportunity to really impact not just the quality of our life, but to amplify the impact that we have on those who matter most to us when we're that intentional. And that's really what the life design exercises in the strategic planning guide are there to support you on doing. So when you have a clear vision, you can make all of those decisions and choices that you're making every single day in alignment with that vision. When you're clear on who you want to be and how you want to show up in this world and the big impact that you want to have. And I really am encouraging you to think big for yourself in terms of the impact you are going to have. One of the things that I notice frequently about us small business owners is we don't pay enough attention to the impact that we are having on our teams and our clients through the work that we do. When you're working on creating a great place to work, and when you are intentional to deliver an exceptional client or customer experience, it has tremendous impact. There's no greater gift than showing up and being fully present with another human being. And when you're designing your life and your business with this level of intentionality, it increases the likelihood that every single moment when you're showing up and you're in front of someone else and having an impact on their lives, you're having the best possible impact that you can have. And so when we don't have a clear vision of where we're headed, we make these decisions without a compass, without a guide. And that's where we can get into situations where we find ourselves unhappy, where we feel like we're spinning our wheels, where we're dissatisfied with how others are responding to us. And so this thinking about things from this level really helps you to be more intentional. It also is important, though, to continually revisit this vision that you're going to be creating and look at what opportunities do you have over the next quarter to move that forward. And so that's what I love about when we do this on the Tap the Potential team and we look at our personal visions every quarter. We're really having that opportunity to reflect on, look how far I've come in what I wanted to be experiencing. And also, here are some opportunities that are right in front of me where I can impact the rest of my vision that I wanted to have and the experiences that I wanted to have this year. And I also want to acknowledge there's plenty of things on my previous year's visions that have not come to fruition. And it's a great time to evaluate. Do you want to carry those things forward? Are they still meaningful and important to you? Or do you want to let them go? And an example for me is that delivering Work Supports Life as a TEDx talk has been part of my vision since December 2019. Every year I had to look at that for the last 4 years and say, wow, that's not yet happened. And acknowledge that, and also acknowledge it's still important to me. So what am I going to do to figure this out? What am I going to do to make this happen? And it happened in 2024. Because I was intentional on it and I did not give up. I recognize that this has importance to me in terms of creating more Work Supports Life cultures out there for entrepreneurs and their team members. And that's why I wanted to be on the TEDx stage sharing that. So you have that opportunity through this level of strategic planning to become that intentional. As we go through the designing your life, and then you step into designing your business to support your life, there are some tremendous, powerful questions in the strategic planning guide to help you think about what's going to be going on in your business when your client experience is at a 10. What's going to be going on in your business when your team members say, this is a great place to work. I'm so happy. Thank you for letting me work here and be a part of what's happening in this company. So those questions are designed to get you thinking in that way. And a lot of our clients at Tap the Potential really struggle with creating a vision because we're so busy all the time, and that visioning and dreaming process can feel very challenging. So there's specific questions in there that get you dreaming about different areas of your business and what will be going on. And you can take your answers to the questions and you can compile them, and you will have a vision, a fully fleshed out vision for 2025 in your business that you can then take into your first team meeting at the beginning of the year and share with your team members. Here's where we're headed. This is what we're going to create. And you'll be able to invite your team members into helping you bring this vision to fruition. And the beautiful thing about that is that you can do the strategic planning guide with your entire team as a series of team development exercises over the coming weeks. You can share the Wheel of Life with them, invite them to download the strategic planning guide so they have their own copy and they have these powerful questions. The beautiful thing about creating a business vision is you're inviting your team to be a part of bringing this vision for the business into fruition. But where the power really comes is when you get curious about your team members' visions for their personal lives. And what is it that's important to them to experience in their personal life over the coming year? And how can you, through what they're doing for you in the business and helping you achieve your vision, how does that align with supporting them in achieving what matters most to them? That's the key to creating a great place to work where your team members are highly engaged because they feel like they're a part of something greater than themselves. They feel invested, and in turn, they feel the investment from you and the rest of the team in what matters most to them. That's the key. So I really encourage you to create your business vision using the powerful questions in the strategic planning guide. Share it with your team, and also be prepared when you share with your team. They may have the deer in the headlights look as you're reading the vision. Don't be deterred by that. So many people as adults have quit dreaming. And so hearing someone else's dreams and hearing someone else think big and dream big is an unusual experience. And some people need time to process it, especially if you have a very powerful vision and your team members, maybe they have a blank look on their face. Don't take that to mean that they're uninterested or not buying into the vision. It's a sign that they're processing, that it's big and they're taking it in, and they may need some time to digest it. And that one of the best things that I find is to share the vision with your team and then do one-to-ones with each team member and ask them in a one-to-one session to share what reaction they're having to the vision and what got them excited, what parts got them excited, what parts made them uncomfortable. Because oftentimes when we're faced with a bigger vision than ourselves, even if we're the one who came up with a vision, we have to shed some old behaviors and we have to go through growth, and it's uncomfortable. And so create space where it's okay to talk about what's uncomfortable, and acknowledge maybe even your own discomfort with parts of the vision and how parts of the vision will cause you to grow. This is a tremendous opportunity for collaboration on your team and to really engage your A players in helping you achieve your vision. And I also want to bring your attention to what I consider to be bonus in your strategic planning guide, and that is designing for profit in the year ahead. So we have included the profit assessment chart in your strategic planning guide. And there's multiple ways that you can use this. So one area that you might think about using this is being aware of, as a business owner, what are you not paying for in your personal life? If you're not paying yourself enough as a business owner through owner's pay and profit, what is not getting funded in your personal life? So if you found yourself thinking small in your personal life, saying, I would really love to take a vacation to Italy, but it's expensive, blah, blah, blah. Think about, well, what level of pay would I need to be earning to be comfortable saying, I'm booking that trip to Italy, right? Maybe you're not saving for retirement. Maybe you don't have any disability insurance or life insurance, or maybe you're not saving for your kids' college, or maybe your kids, they wanted to be in certain activities and you've said no because those activities require a lot of equipment that's expensive, or trips that are expensive to undertake. So be aware of, in your personal life, where you have started saying no or stopped dreaming because of financial reasons, and then use this profit assessment tool to identify the level of owner's pay that you would need to be bringing home from the business to be able to say yes to those things that are really important, those experiences that are really important to you in your personal life. So the first way to use the profit assessment tool is to identify your current level of revenue for the last 12 months. Okay, so your current level of revenue for the last 12 months. And then look at the column that where your revenue level falls into and identify what percentage of owner's pay you should be receiving. What's the target for that level of revenue that you should be able to take out of the business for owner's pay? And then look at your actual owner's pay and what you actually paid yourself in the last 12 months. And what this does is it identifies a gap. Usually it identifies a gap because in my experience, most business owners are not paying themselves enough through the business. Most of it is going to operating expenses. And that's where, as the business grows, business owners feel like they're paying themselves less and less, even though there's more and more revenue coming in. So we want to identify first with owner's pay, what is the gap, what you should be getting, and these target allocation percentages that are in this Profit First tool are there based on financially performing healthy companies. So these are percentages that you can follow when your company is healthy and functioning and running efficiently, which the Tap the Potential solution, which we teach in the Better Business, Better Life program, is designed to help you achieve this level of efficiency in your business that helps you hit these target allocation percentages so that you can pay yourself that level of owner's pay. And so what it does is it allows you to be mindful of your owner's pay. And if you need to cut expenses, if you find that your operating expenses are higher than what that chart shows you they should be, then you've identified there's a lot of inefficiency going on in the business. And that's where we can support you at Tap the Potential in reducing that inefficiency so that you can pay yourself more as the owner of the business. And I also encourage you to look at the profit percentages and look at what percentage of profit you should have, how much money that equates to for the level of revenue that you have, and then go look in your bank account and not your operating expense account, not your main checkbook, but any savings that you have in the business. If you don't have a formal Profit First account in place, and you may not, because maybe this is your first time of looking at the business from a Profit First perspective, look at, do you have any savings that have built up in the business, money that's not being spent to operate the business, and count that as profit. And most likely you'll notice there's a gap, that you should have more profit than what you currently have. And again, that's an opportunity to run the business more efficiently. And so when it comes to planning and designing for profit in the year ahead, using this chart helps you to identify where the gaps are. And so if you're identifying that there are gaps in your owner's pay and there's gaps in your profitability, that's where we can really be of support to you at Tap the Potential. We can support you in identifying what are the key actions, the highest value activities that you can undertake in the year ahead that will help you achieve that level of owner's pay and profit. And it's not just that you want to achieve that because you have things going on in your personal life that you want to be able to afford and pay for, right? You also want to achieve the target allocation percentage for owner's pay and profit because you want to be able to replace yourself at some point in the business. So the business needs to be paying you an appropriate salary and it needs to have profitability. If you ever want to sell your business, you need to have several years where you can show that the business has been profitable and been able to pay someone in the owner's seat an appropriate salary. So every year that goes by that you allow yourself to be below those target allocation percentages in the business is another year that you're further and further away from being able to transition the business and having the business be as healthy as it can possibly be. And a healthy business financially is a sustainable business. It's a business that has longevity, that has the opportunity to run regardless of whether you, the owner, is there in the owner's seat, or maybe you have a general manager, or somebody that you're bringing in who's going to run things and you're going to take a back seat. And that's where building the ability for the business to have profit becomes important too, because as your business reaches higher and higher levels of revenue, it's most likely that you, the owner, will be doing less and less in the business, and your compensation will then come through the ownership of the business and profit. So profit is your return on investment as the owner and the founder of the business. So it's really important as you're doing your strategic planning for the year ahead that you are designing for profit. We are happy to guide you through conducting an assessment of your profit potential in your business and doing these calculations with you and for you to show you where the gaps are, and then showing you how you can use the Tap the Potential solution to bridge those gaps. So if you're interested in that, book a call with us. Head on over to tapthepotential.com and book your call, and we will get you all squared away with identifying your profit potential in the business and the opportunities that you have in the year ahead to make that profit real, that owner's pay real in your business. And so as we are wrapping up with the strategic planning series here on the podcast, I want to make sure that you have downloaded the strategic planning guide and your strategic planner for 2025. Because what you do is, when you have done your vision through the strategic planning guide for 2025, then you have the opportunity to use your strategic planner to break out from it's the end, it's December 31st, 2025. Here's what I want to be experiencing in my business and personal life. Your strategic planner allows you then to break that down into quarterly business and personal goals. But we don't just stop there. There are questions and there's calendaring tools in the strategic planner that help you focus on your $10,000 an hour activities from week to week to achieve your quarterly goals and then to achieve your vision for 2025. So make sure you've downloaded these tools and you're using them. And for those of you in our Better Business, Better Life program, as we come back together at the beginning of 2025 in January, we're going to want to hear about your vision for 2025 on the business side and your personal life. And we're going to support you in making sure that your quarterly goals are continually aligning with what you want to experience in the business and your personal life in 2025. And then we will support you from week to week and meeting to meeting in the Better Business, Better Life program in making that happen. I wish you a very happy, delightful 2025. Bye for now.